back to, excuse me, episode 278 of the God and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and responsible Christian gun owners' interest. In this week's show, we'll be discussing the drop in numbers of Christians who are not showing up to church after all this COVID-19 silliness is about passed. I am checking our link over there because YouTube is acting weird. But welcome to the show, Doug. Looks like you might be having some fun over there.
Oh, yeah. It's I'm having a hoot tonight. Right in the middle of doing show notes a while ago, my computer died, and my backup computer is not here. So now you can see what a green screen looks like if I had a computer running. Hey, we're going to make the best out of it tonight.
Yeah, so Doug's blind. He can't see in the comments, so you guys have to wait for me to find them, and then we'll go from there.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We want to thank our bandwidth we'll thank our sponsors. Bandwidth sponsor First Farms Radio Network. We appreciate them putting all of our shows out there for you guys to check out. And I got a cool little package in the mail today from our buddies over at Patriot Patch.
Oh, yeah?
Let's see. We got the sticker here. I'll make that out. The green screen's killing it. The color isn't. It says Dio Presso Liber. I think that's the Special Forces motto in it. Green Berets or something. Maybe it'll show up with this. To free the oppressed. We're all oppressed right now.
Yeah, we are.
I also want to thank Oathkeepers TV for putting us on over there. We missed our slot last night. I was informed that we would not have a slot live over there on their platform, but they would post the show up afterwards. Thursday nights at 9 is our slot, and we accidentally didn't get that yesterday. I also want to thank
Crossbreed Holsters. Hey, if you're carrying a gun and you got one in your vehicle, on your person, or if your wife got one in her purse, Crossbreed makes a holster for you. Go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
I am carrying the cross.
Carrying the cross. Also, PowerTac lights. Hey, they are very bright flashlights. You've seen several of them. They got gun mounts, headlamps, pocket lights, whatever you want. They got a light for you. Go check our buddies out at PowerTac.com. And when you find what you want, hit them up. Use our promo code God and Guns, and they'll give you 40% off for just listening to the show. So go check them out. PowerTac.com.
Cool deal. This week's God and Gun activities, Doug. What have you been up to?
Oh, man. Let's see. I've been working. I did find a deal on some ammo. I had to make a couple phone calls, but the guy, there was a new guy down there. He didn't want to. He only wanted to sell me 3 little boxes. I'm like, what am I going to do with that? That's not even 2 good mags out of Puff 2.0 with a Go Fast trigger. So. So I called my buddy, the manager down there, and I'm like, hey, how much can you sell me? He's like, how much you want? I'm like, how much you got? But it's 50 cents a round for 5.56, which still is ridiculous.
But they're having to pay more for it too.
They are.
Its prices are just getting trickled down. You know, it's not like that they're just pocketing all the money.
It's $9.99 a box is what he's selling for, which is doable. I was looking on Federal site. And Federal had it, American Eagle 5.56 for $13.99 a box. And I used another site called SG Ammo, and they had some. It was $16.99 a box. And dude, I went out on cheaper than dirt, which it ain't. And I found they had 1,000 rounds of just ball ammo, 5.56, 55 grain, 1,000 rounds. $1,199. I was like, "Ooh!" I'm like, "Y'all keep that." So I did not get that. So, oh well, it is what it is. Let's see, what else have I been doing? Working on a gun. Got one sighted in tonight. The pig killing machine is about to be ready to go. Got the thermal dialed in. Dude, that is so much fun. When you sight in a thermal scope. I actually took a little sandwich bag and I put 1 cube of ice in the sandwich bag and I rolled it up real tight and folded it over to about, I don't know, it was about that big. Let's see, hey, can you see it? There you go. About that big. And I tacked it to the center of the target. Got back at 50 yards, doing a 0 on it. And that little piece of ice was sitting there just glowing. I was like, okay, that's going to be easy now. And that pulsar has the 1-shot 0 on it.
Mm-hmm.
It is so nice, man. You get lined up, you take your shot, and then for about 7 seconds, you can actually see where the bullet hits the target because it's hot around it.
That's pretty cool.
So you can see the hole for about 7 seconds. So you get back in on the target, get it set dead center, and you can freeze the frame, and it'll stop right there and lock up. And then you can go in and change your axis and move. You just move the crosshairs over to where your bullet hit, and then save that data. And next shot, man, you're in the money. You might have to do a little tweaking, if you want to move it, half an inch or something, or you want to mess with it just a little bit more. But it's pretty much a one shot 0. So that worked. And I put the Vortex Viper back on the Axelson, so I got it ready to go again. And that's the one I shot the class with, but I got it zeroed in at 50 now and not 100.
Let's get your stuff for the week.
Pretty much.
Except for the computer.
Except the computer crashing. Hey, I did actually. One of the ladies at work, she's been wanting to get a gun for safety for the house, and one of my buddies and I met her down at my gun store that I normally go to the other day at lunch, and my friend Spencer hooked her up and took good care of her, and she liked the SIG P365, which I like it too. I'd love to have one also. And but anyway, they didn't have one in stock other than the tan colored, which was more expensive. So she said she'd wait. Well, he texted me the other day. He goes, "Hey man, I got them in." So I told her about it. She went down and picked it up. So she is good to go. Well, actually, she put it on layaway. She go get it here in a week or two. So she'll be set then and good to go. Hey, I'm going to show you my new cup tonight, man. Can you see that?
Cool. Constitutional with a bunch of empty shell cases on it? Or they got bullets on it? The bullets are empty bullets.
empty cases.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple live ones.
Okay.
And then it says the right to bear arms. And a friend of ours down here, Amy Garris, makes these cups. And she had this one out there the other day. And I was like, that ain't going nowhere. I want that one. So Winnie picked it up for me yesterday. And looks really nice.
Yeah,
so,
it looks good.
Yeah. Anybody ever wants one, let me know.
So you guys that just joined in, your brother John's on here said, hello, guys. And Rick said 6.5 Grendel FTW. And then we got Chris Chambliss, and we got Chris.
Oh, Chris is on. All right.
Yeah, and Chris Jerica. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I screwed that up. And Jordan Coleman's on here. So we got several guys over on YouTube as well. So we got Jason Nagel and Bill Donovan over there. He said, Jason just said that this P65 is a great gun. It's his EDC. So cool.
I want one for my pocket. That's what I want it for.
I still use the Springfield XDS 45 for my pocket gun. That and I use that Ruger SP 101, depending on how I feel that day.
So everybody's just joining. I have a nice green screen in the background because my computer died about 20 minutes before the show. So I'm on a phone. So this is the best to get tonight.
So if you're commenting for Doug, you'll have to wait till I'm able to catch up and read it.
Yep.
Good deal. So let's see my God and gun stuff. On the God side, daily Bible reading, the prayer and fasting show. I fasted 2 days this week again. I've been fasting Mondays and Thursdays. I think the week before last I skipped Thursday, moved it to a Friday because something. I can't remember what it was right now, but it's been going well. I'm down to the lowest weight I've been since about the first month I was married. I'm almost to my marriage weight. It's slowly going. It's doing like this. It goes up and down and down and down and down. It's aggravating, but I'm heading to my goal, so it's going to get there. It's going to get there.
There you
But
go.
the prayer show's been going pretty well. I mean, we had more people at sometimes, and sometimes I think a lot of people are going back to work, so a lot of people that were sitting at home were able to be on now or back at work or back at school or whatever. So we'll see. I'll take it to episode 100. We'll see how it goes. I got I'm almost to 90, I think. What was it today?
Don't take long to add them up when you're doing them every day, does it?
Well, every weekday, yeah. I'm up to 94. I finished this morning, so we got like a week left, a little over a week left to hit 100. We'll see if people want to still listen in and do it. If not, then I've got a lot of things that could be done. But if people enjoy it and feel it's worthwhile, then I'll keep on doing those. Um, let's see, reloading. I've been reloading a lot. I put up a couple of videos last night and I think the day before.
I saw that.
Reloading lots of 9mm because Gunner wants to shoot 9mm and I want to shoot some 9mm. I've got a ton of 45 I've already loaded up and quite a bit of 10mm I've loaded last. Back in the winter I loaded a bunch of 10mm and then you got to shoot. And then I'm starting in on 5.56 probably tomorrow after I get back from my granddaughter's birthday party and my son Tim's birthday. He's gonna be he is 29 now, so man, I feel old. Oldest son's 29 and his daughter has turned 9, so it is screaming by. Let's see what else here. Yeah, I've got Wally from Sub-MOA Shooting called me. He said, I just watched your show and you said something about loading up some bullets and shooting steel. And I thought, yeah, he said, and I sent you those 308 bullets. Those are armor piercing bullets. You don't want to shoot those on your steel. I'm like, oh, yeah, I saw the AP on it. I said, no, I'm not shooting steel 308. I like my steel too much for that.
Right.
I've got a big gong I might put out there at 500 yards or something, hit it. But I'm not going to shoot my 1/3 man size or 1/2 man size steel targets at close range with the rifle bullets. It sort of does some hardness, some rude
Holes.
things to them, especially if it's armor piercing. So, and I got oh gosh, I got a bunch of green tip I picked up cheap. I think I bought that stuff for it was so cheap at the time. I think it was like 22 cents a round or something like that. I picked up 2,000-3,000 rounds of that, and that's just paper target stuff there, unless we get invaded by people wearing armor. But
Right.
I don't know if it work on anything but flak jackets. Maybe it work on some armor. I guess it's soft body armor. EDC check. I'm packing the Glock 30S and my Crossbreed Super Tuck. Got the Microtech SOCOM knife and ED2 Surefire Defender light and usual blowout kit from Steal the Gun. And I've got 2 soft T tourniquets now I'm packing. And then I keep what's the other tourniquet? I can't forget what they call it. The one that it's just a wrap for kids. You got smaller arms and stuff like that, grandkids and stuff like that. So rat's tourniquet. Keep a rat's tourniquet with me all the time. So let's see. So we got some other comments over here for the win. Okay, that's what the FTW means. Yeah, you never know. Especially Rick. You never know what those abbreviations mean. Yep, that's right. All right, so we got the comments caught up, and what are you packing tonight?
Usual suspect, Glock 19 with Student of the Gun night vision sights on it. Cool. And it works really good. I got a pocket knife actually, and I got a second mag on me. I just got back from shooting not long ago, so I had a bunch of stuff in my pockets. My snake charming stuff.
Who's not long ago?
Who's
not long ago?
No, so I just got back not long ago from.
You said I just got back from shooting not long ago. I'm like, old man joke. Speaking of jokes,
I got one.
A couple. Yeah,
you got a joke tonight. You get to do the joke tonight since I can't see.
I've got 2 jokes tonight. In
Oh,
case one bombs, we got a second one.
blonde joke.
No, actually, not. Well, I guess this one could be a blonde joke.
Mm.
Yeah, we could change it to a blonde joke. My wife has not been to a beautician for a while, so I'm pretty safe, I think.
Hey, she used to call Nancy Pelosi. She can tell her where a good place is.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna go to San Francisco. All right. I don't think she got the same kind of clout as Nancy Pelosi. Let's see. First joke is called Going Down. A storm raged and the captain realized the ship was sinking fast. He called out, "Anyone here know how to pray?" One man stepped forward. "Aye, Captain, I know how to pray." "Good," said the captain. "You pray while the rest of us put on our life jackets. We're one short." All right. Let's see. Corny jokes, I know. Old man jokes. Second one, a blonde woman at the post office.
Uh-oh.
A blonde woman went into the post office to buy some stamps for Christmas cards. "What denomination?" asked the clerk. "Oh my goodness. Has it come to this?" said the woman. "Well, give me 50 Baptist and 50 Catholic." All right.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I just modified it from just being a woman to, so that way I didn't offend 100% of the women out there. I only offended maybe 25% of the women,
Just the blonde ones.
just the blonde ones. All right, let's see. Bible verse. Wow, is Chris? You're not blonde, are you, Chris? Full.
He is not.
The Bible verse is coming out of Hebrews 10, 19 through 25. And we know who brews the coffee. He brews the coffee. All right.
3 jokes.
3. Rim shot. The Full Assurance of Faith is a title under the ESV version. Oh, I guess it would help if I brought it up here where you guys could see it. Coming out of Hebrews 10, verses 19 down through 25. It's sort of going to lead into our main topic for the evening. "Therefore, brothers, since we have confidence to enter the holy places by the blood of Jesus, by the new and living way that he opened for us through the curtain, that is, through his flesh." So what that references, if you guys probably know the Bible better than me, but what it references here, verses 19 and 20, when Jesus was crucified and when he said it is finished, the Holy of Holies curtain ripped from the top to the bottom and opened, exposed the Holy of Holies. That would symbolize that there no longer was an intercessor, a need for an intercessor, no longer a high priest that you had to go to. The high priest is Jesus, and so now you have the ability to go to holy places because Jesus is that intercessor for us. He is that intercessor that stands between us and the holiness of God that would destroy us if we were to look upon it. But he is also our intercessor for our petitions and our requests, and that's why we pray in Jesus' name, because he's our high priest. Going on to verse 21, "And since we have since we have a great high priest over the house of God, let us draw near to the true heart in full assurance of faith, for our hearts sprinkled clean from an evil conscience, and our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold fast to the confession of our hope without wavering." Excuse me. "For he who promised is faithful. And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works." Verse 25 is the keystone here. "Not neglecting to meet together as as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, all the more as you see the day drawing near." And so every day since Jesus' ascension into heaven is getting closer to the day he returns. And so we are to keep our hope. We are to keep ourselves pure of heart. We're to remain ready to go at a moment's notice. But we're also called here in verse 25. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. You guys can't see what I'm doing over here. I'm a boogered up this morning. Right. Okay, yeah. So we got all the verses there. But I was reading off one set of verses and talking to another one. So, but it's the same ones. "But not neglecting to meet together." So, at our show tonight, a lot of people, since this Corona thing happened, have decided, hey, this sitting at home in their pajamas and watching the church online is a cool thing, man. I don't even have to get cleaned up. Don't have to go shower. Don't have to trim my toenails. I just sit here in my PJs eating popcorn and watching the preacher and everybody on TV. Brian's saying I'm full of jokes today. All right, so I'm full of a lot of stuff today, but Popeye's chicken sandwich right now is working over my stomach. But the thing that's going on here is with it. I was reading the article and it was out of, where's my article? Harbinger's Daily. I actually saw it over on John B. Wells' news feed, and then I followed it back to its source over at Harbinger's Daily, and it quoted that 20% of the church, that 20% of the churches in the United States might end up having to close because so many people are not attending and not tithing and not being there to fulfill the needs. So as believers, we have a reason to go to church and a reason to be together. For edification, for knowledge, right? We go there to learn. We go there to serve, but most importantly, we go there to worship because corporate worship is called for in the church. We're to be together to lift one another up for edification of the saints, right? To encourage one another, to help one another, to educate, instruct others, to be mentors to others, and to serve in different functions of the church. We all have special gifts that God's gifted us as believers. Once we are saved, we start finding that we have spiritual gifts that God has given to us, and so we have a responsibility to be plugged into a local church. We have a responsibility to be tithing to a local church. You don't just because you're at home, you don't just get to keep that money and buy more Netflix movies or whatever. I guess people don't buy Netflix movies anymore. That's going back a few years, but or whatever your pet thing is, like maybe buy another gun or something. We have a responsibility to go and do, and it's been discouraging. I understand. I've been just pretty frustrated. I know Doug has. Tell us about your experiences, Doug, about being able to go to church. What's it like in Georgia trying to get into a church? Is it they have you sitting 6 feet apart and wearing masks and
we haven't been back to our church since the COVID thing started. They haven't been open back up too awful long. We were doing
a lot of churches just now started opening up.
Yeah, we were doing drive-in church in the parking lot. The preacher was standing outside, and they broadcast it over radio so you could hear it and all that good stuff. But they opened up about a month ago, maybe. But they're spacing it out, and they're actually running 2 services now. So this past Sunday, I actually caught the early service and watched it online here at the house. I've been doing the online thing, but hey, they will find a way to make it easy for you to tithe. They do it. You can text it in. There's a app that you can go to and do it. And
post office, you just put chicken.
You can. That's old school, man.
Old school.
I don't want to put no more pressure on the post office.
That's low tech, man.
That's old school. I don't want to put no more pressure on the post office than what they got. They fixed to be busy.
Yeah. So they're gonna be busy. All right. So yeah, I don't. Well, let's stay out of that tonight or so far.
Different night.
We could chase a big squirrel on that one. Yes. Get lost in the weeds. So let's finish up our thoughts here. So, but I was reading this article and I tried to get the head of the Barnum group, which is they're a polling group. They poll Christian pastors and churches and leaders for what's going on in the church body. What across the board with different churches, different denominations, different parts of the country that they're seeing trends, and so they're trying to give that information back to the church leaders so they can see how to navigate around these situations. And then there was a Dr. Alex McFarland that was commenting, evangelist and apologist, that it's been a trend that church attendance has been dropping, but our church has been pretty steady. We've had some people go out and we've had more people come in. I mean, I've not seen a drop. Ours has been, probably on a slow incline. A lot of the younger families come in. A lot of the older people are passing on, or getting too old to show up. They had to be at homebound and things like that. But it's sort of a natural progression. Of course, we're right in the Bible Belt. Georgia's in the Bible Belt too. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's almost a tradition more than it is a belief system. Um, we we opened up probably earlier than most churches, but we probably running about, if I had to put a number, about 25% of our normal group, and that's because there's no children's activities.
Right.
There's no older. All the older adults, pretty much for the most part, just don't come. They watch online, or a lot of them have learned how to watch YouTube online, or Facebook online, things like that. Uh, and there's just the one service. There's just one service, and so it's pretty cramped. I mean, we couldn't last Sunday. We couldn't probably put any more people in there than showed up with the restrictions that our buddy Dandy Andy here in
Oh yeah.
Kentucky put on us. But and he's talking about clamping back down again. I'm like, the death rates are way down, almost non-existent. They came out this last week with, was it 94% of all COVID-19 numbers of deaths were actually, that wasn't the primary cause of death. It was
Right.
it was a second or third, or may not even have effect on it. They may be dying of cancer, car wrecks, uh, emphysema and stuff that they already had, and it's just a matter that uh, the numbers are just overinflated, and we know for what reason. I mean, they're trying to take the country down,
Sure they
economy
are.
down, to have an overthrow of the president. And Trump's not perfect, but he's a whole lot better than Sleepy Joe. And so
Oh.
I wish he was more for guns than he's come out. I thought he was going to be a champion for guns, but then he's actually brought more gun registration stuff or things than Obama did. So that's disappointing. But how is it in y'all's churches? People, you guys over here commenting live. I mean, are you seeing the same kind of thing? Are y'all seeing the same trends? Are y'all's churches open? Are they closed? Are they? Uh, Chris says that they are open at church and even Sunday school in Florida.
Oh
Uh,
nice.
we're supposed to open. Our church is Calvary is supposed to be opening back up the third week of September for children's and for small groups, but they've already opened up the Christian school, and it's been open for about 2 weeks. But they have staff for that. You have paid staff is different than having volunteer staff to be able to come in and do that. Rick says he's running about the same as ours. Yeah, a lot of the churches right here, our old church that's just 3 miles down the road from me, if that far, uh, they are doing an outside service and inside service and an online service, all three. Because a lot of the elderly folks are still worried about it. They don't want to come inside the building, but they will sit in their cars and be out there with it. So
Right.
they do the live portion outside. They broadcast it inside, then they broadcast it online, and then some of the small groups are meeting inside. Some of the small groups are meeting outside if the weather is permitting. I know that they had their monthly men's prayer meeting recently, but we're going to have a problem if people just decide to stay home now that everybody's set up to do it online. You're going to have a lot of people that are just going to watch that 1 hour and call it good. And Doug and I, we have this show, and I've heard a lot of people say, well, y'all are a church. And I'm like, boy, y'all need to get into church, because Doug and I are not equipped to be able to be pastors and deacons and leaders that you need, and you need to be plugged in. I know that churches are a double-edged sword for a lot of people. A lot of people have been hurt in church. I've been hurt in church. People said horrible things about me in church, and tore my family down and all kinds of stuff. But it's just a part of um, it's just a part of grace. You just gotta live it. You gotta be not afraid and let the little stuff slide. My mom always says, "Let the little stuff slide, and everything's little stuff." So uh, you gotta just focus on the main things. As long as they're preaching the word, they're not deviating from the word. They're not preaching false gospel, things like that. Uh, then you're good to go. But if they're preaching something that's not of the Bible, if they're preaching things that don't align with the gospel, and get out of that church. But
Yeah.
as far as the paint colors, the selection of music, and I talked about this morning on the prayer thing, uh, that you gotta let the little stuff go, and you gotta just by grace, forgive people that are young and don't know and don't understand, and you just gotta come along beside them and help them. So
Yep.
I'm concerned about it. I'm really concerned. The church has already had enough hits that this is gonna. I think it was by design that they've shut all these churches down.
Sure it is.
There's some churches in California are paying, I think it's 50 something $1,000 a week in penalties to the California state for having live services, having services in line, and the numbers just aren't there to support the kind of hype that they got going.
No.
I mean, you work in the hospital. I mean, I don't know if you
Yep.
can officially talk about that or not, but I mean, I don't see that many deaths in the papers and all that stuff like I did, and then a lot of those deaths are just, they're just not, they weren't caused by COVID.
Well, I can tell you right now, they've come a long way in treatment
Yeah.
for people that do have COVID. That it gets bad. We have been maintaining really good. I mean, we have a lot of people in the hospital that are positive COVID, and we're depending on the day, we're averaging anywhere from 20 to 30 something that are in the hospital, in a room, in a bed. But a lot of them are not on ventilators anymore. They don't get to that point. A lot of the new drugs and stuff that they're using are actually working, and they found other ways. Like I think you've heard me talk about it before, that people that are having breathing problems, they turn them face down, and that supposedly helps you breathe better. And they're kind of running like CPAPs just to keep more oxygen going to them.
Yeah.
And they've got some medications that are working really well. So it's not that bad. As far as I know a bunch of people right now that actually have COVID that have come down with it, and they said it's like a light case of the flu. They get a little run down. The biggest thing is they said they can't taste and they can't smell, and that's kind of one of the telltale signs that you do have it.
That's what Gunner had. Couldn't taste, couldn't smell, had bad headache for about a week.
Yep.
And
fever.
Just a light one. It wasn't for like 2 days and it was gone. Just a real light. It was like 101, 102. I mean, it wasn't a high fever. And it was just he had a cough for like 2 days and it was it. It was gone.
Young people fare really well with it.
Yeah.
They get it, they're done, they're over, and they move on. And and I know a lot of older people that are getting it now that have had it and tested positive for it and have recovered, and they don't have any problems, nothing else, no other issues with it.
Yeah.
But some people that have underlying health issues, they do have a problem with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can
But they
understand.
could get anything. I mean, they could get pneumonia and do the same thing.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. G. Torres said been tested 3 times, all negative. I've not been tested at all. I plan to keep it that way. So we had Brian over here. I was over on YouTube. He said the outdoor only here in California, but they try to close them down here again, I'm sure. And Jason Nagel said ours is open, limited seating. Children opens next weekend. Cool. And Bill Donovan said ours just started having limited services with limited seating. Yeah. I mean, the restaurants were given more freedom here than and the bars are given more freedom here than the churches.
Oh yeah,
Of course, that's what happens when you vote in a Democrat. So, Brian's
Democrats.
Democrats. I have certain. Brian said he's certain. My wife and I and my son had it. It felt like a mild flu, mild fever, shortness of breath. Lasted about a week. It was gone. Yeah,
Yep.
I think I had the same thing back in like early March, late February. It just lasted like mine lasted like 3 days, but it was mostly a headache. I had a headache and I had chills like one night, and then a little bit of a cough that persisted about a week. And but the rest of the symptoms went away in like 3 days. I think a lot of people got it back in the fall last year.
Hmm.
I think it was
But
here earlier than what they thought.
I know one of my buddies had it. He had a good dose of it, and he got tested for the flu, and they said he was negative for flu, but they didn't test him for COVID because they didn't know, because this was in like December,
Right.
so they didn't necessarily know. But he was down for about 7 or 8 days, and just high fever, and just couldn't shake it. And there ain't no doubt in my mind he had it. Well, that's like my brother, John. I think John's on here.
Was earlier.
He had the same thing, and he tested negative the first go, and 3 or 4 days later he just got worse, and went and got tested again, and they said he tested negative on the second time, but he had pneumonia when he went back.
Mm.
So, and that's kind of a telltale sign too. If pneumonia on your second go around.
Yeah. Brother, let me tell you. That's John's comment.
Is that what he said?
Can you see it there? I popped it up where you say.
It's at the bottom of my phone. I can't see it.
Yeah, you need your spectacles on. You
Well,
gotta get your old spectacles.
right. I had to scroll my screen up.
Oh, that's right. You're sideways. That's why it's not showing up.
Yeah,
I get you.
there you go. Now I can see it.
Yeah. Brian said they said. Yeah, I think a lot of people have. My cousin's one is a chiropractor. The dude's like, I think he's like 93 or something. He's up there, man. He still works on my back. Uh, whenever I ask him to. I mean, he don't have a business no more and stuff like that. But he had it back in February. He swears up and down he thinks he must have had it because he was down for almost 2 weeks, and he said he couldn't do anything and felt horrible, had a fever and stuff like that. But he kicked it. I mean, but he's pretty good shape for his age. He's always taking good care of himself. Goes walking like a mile or two a day, and I think they did that OMAD, just 1 meal a day thing where they only eat one meal a day.
I think if John actually went back to the doctor and got tested for the antibody, I'd be willing to put money that he's got the antibody now.
Probably so. Yeah, where were you, John? I thought you were gonna come over and visit it some more. You ain't been back. I thought you were gonna come back and hang out again. We need to come back over and hang out. Have us another nice cigar. All right, so where are we at here? That's going to wrap up our main topic. Just be in prayer for the church. The church is in America is under attack. I mean, it's under attack by Democrat governors, and it's under attack by people afraid to. What do you say? I'll be the thing that wouldn't leave. Well, I've got a place for you. We got an RV out back. You can sleep in there.
Timmy needs to bring his AR over and shoot it with you.
Yeah, well, I don't have any place to shoot right now because all the crops have taken up all the shooting places, and I got cows in the field that I used to shoot at. I'm going to have to build me I got to build me a rifle range. I'm going to have to buy some land down in the middle of nowhere to put me a rifle range in. Something's got to give.
I know, right?
I've got the Bobcat here. I'm gonna work on my little pistol range I got in the backyard. Try to do that some tomorrow if I get an opportunity. Brought it over after I've been hauling some dirt for my parents' house up in E-Town. So they got like 20 semi loads of dirt dumped in their yard, and they call me, come up there and move it. I'm like, good grief. I need a dozer up there. All right, so how can you help out the show? Well, you can buy some stickers and some patches. Look like the one behind me, not the one behind Doug.
No.
Doug's got the "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" flag behind him, but
Yeah.
but we got patches and stickers. I got several orders the last couple of weeks, so I appreciate that from you guys. I've been shipping those out as soon as I get an opportunity. And then other things you can do, check out oathkeepers.org. If you're, especially if you're a former military, first responder, EMT, anyone who has taken an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States, that would be a good place for you to use your talents while you're still active or even after you retire. You never really retire. You always have to keep your oath, and that's what Oath Keepers is about. You can find out more about that at oathkeepers.org. But Wally was talking about earlier, he's giving us a code if you guys are reloaders like I am. You go to submoashooting.com and use the code God and Guns, and he'll give you a discount on bullets. He sells all kinds of premium bullets, and he sent me some nice 308 bullets and some 223, 556 bullets, and man, I think he sent me some 25-06 bullets too. I think I have to go back and look at. He sent me a nice little care package. So you guys go over and check that out if you're reloaders, and then you're up next, Doug, with Axelson and Palmetto.
All right. Axelson Tactical is one of our affiliate sponsors, and Jeff and those guys make a phenomenal rifle. And you've seen Troy's, you've seen the one I have. I talk about I pig hunt with it. They are tack driving machines, but they also make custom pistols, knives. They have a storefront, so you can go out and buy different guns and have it shipped to your FFL at your wherever you're at. And they just have a lot of neat stuff, a lot of custom work stuff that is really good. If you're a long range shooter, they got bolt guns for you. So go check our buddies out at axelsonusa.com and use our promo code God and Guns, and they will give you a 10% discount for listening to us. Also, Palmetto State Armory. Hey, Palmetto State's got a little bit of stuff in. One of my buddies at work, he was able to get a hold of AR pistol build, and he ordered all the parts, and finally, they shipped it like the next day. I think it was out and gone. He got it quick, but he just built his first AR, so he did a good job. He used our affiliate link, and that will show up for us. So you don't get any money off by going through our affiliate link, but Palmetto State in return sends us a part of everything that gets sold through our site. So they send some back to us, which helps us, pay for bandwidth and all the other stuff that we do. So go check them out, PalmettoStateArmory.com, and find something out there and get it.
Last week you mentioned that we had someone say we need to get a Subscribe Star account, and Tim Kim, buddy, Chicago, sent us a message about it as well. Rondell Cal, maybe that was you that sent that as well. We did set up an account. It's called God and Guns. I don't have it completely set up. I set up a lot of it today, but I haven't got the bank account and all that stuff set up yet, and all the different levels that you can do. So, but I do know that we have Subscribe Star set up, and that it is. Let me type in here and make sure I've got my confirmation. Yep. Okay. So we're set up with Subscribe Star. It's under God and Guns. It's just whatever the template that they comes with, because I haven't got in there to start setting up levels and all that stuff. I don't know how to do all that about how we're going to do the levels of Subscribe Star. I mean, you guys got some ideas. Send us some ideas of what things maybe you'd like to for us to do or something, maybe for different levels of, like Patreon had different levels. I guess Subscribe Stars the same way. You can pay $5 a month or $10 or whatever you want, willing to pay. We'd be happy for anything, but because the bills keep coming. But the as soon as that's up and going, I'll plug it a little bit more. But we do have it up. If you guys search under God and Guns, you probably will be able to find it. I would assume, but I forgot about it. I should have put my show notes, and I did not. So I'm a flunky. Let's see if I got it in here. Well, we'll have to do that later. Armed Citizen of the Week. We got a couple of stories here. One's an old one and one's a new one. We'll do the new one first. Doug's blind, so I will have to carry the load around here this week.
You're carrying it today, buddy.
A man with a concealed carry permit in Arvada, Colorado, Colorado, defended himself when an armed man attempted to carjack him in the parking lot of a local supermarket. On August 28th, around 12:30, the man was putting groceries in his car when a would-be carjacker walked up to him. The carjacker demanded his keys to the vehicle and pulled out a gun. Instead of handing over the keys, as demanded, the man threw them on the ground a few feet away, prompting the carjacker to go after them. The distraction gave the man time enough to draw his concealed carry pistol, then pointing at the armed would-be assailant. Once the carjacker looked back up and saw the gun, the man told the assailant, "Not happening, not today." The carjacker ran off without any shots being fired. Then the man then yelled aloud to others in the parking lot that the person running off had tried to rob him at gunpoint. Police later found the carjacker a short time later nearby. As it turned out, he was attempting to steal a getaway vehicle after crashing another stolen vehicle in the area.
Dang.
That comes from KDVR.com, Denver, Colorado, posted on 9/2/2020. The other one's from the archives, Armed Citizen Archives, is from March of 1967. That's back when I was a little bitty baby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I was a little bitty baby. I was a baby. Miss Evelyn Jones, 58. Boy, back then they gave their ages out. Evelyn Jones, 58, Los Angeles, was sitting on her porch when shortly after 1 a.m., two strangers approached across her lawn. When she asked what they wanted, one raised a sawed-off .22 caliber and a rifle and a paper bag and snarled, "Don't move or I'll shoot." Mrs. Jones's dog lunged at them, who fired one wild shot, and Mrs. Jones drew her .38 revolver she carries for protection and killed the armed intruder. His companion fled. Los Angeles Times, Los Angeles, California. Well, there you go.
Revolver. .38
revolver.
Wheel gunner.
It'll work.
It will.
I have a cousin. I have a couple cousins who asked me to take them and teach them how to shoot guns that never had wanted to shoot a gun in their life. One's in her 90s and one's almost 60, I guess now. I don't know exactly how old she is, but I think she's almost 60. Have had guns in their house for years that they inherited from their grandparents or parents or whatever. And one of them was a .38 wheel gun. So here real soon, I'm going to get them out and then teach them how to shoot. So if you got people in your family that need to know how to shoot or might want to know how to shoot, you probably ought to be a good time to get them trained up.
Yep.
You do a lot of dry fire because you can't afford to waste any ammunition right now.
Right.
Let them use a handful of live ammo, and we will. Cool deal. The shirt guys never call. I don't know if they went out of business or what. I've the ones I had made a contact with and had got all the stuff drawn up. I don't know if they're out of business or if they went and got other jobs or what happened, but I think they must be getting their shirts out of China and that all dried up. So maybe they'll be back working again soon. We'll see. It's hard to find people that make shirts here in the United States. I'm wondering if Matt down in Texas, I think he buys his shirts from overseas too. I don't think he has any American made shirts. Well, no, I have to holler at him and see if he's making them, what the cost would be on. All right, so that's the Guy and Gun stuff. Guy and Guns. That's the Armed Citizen of the Week stuff. My brain's a little fried. I've been mowing for the last 5 hours. Ran, jumped in the shower, came in here, choked down a chicken sandwich, and hopped on the computer. So my brain's a little bit off in different places. All right, we're gonna wrap this puppy up. You guys have any other comments? And yeah, we'll get that more information on Subscribestar up for you guys, and I guess we could post that on the social media sites. I have a feeling that YouTube and or maybe Facebook and or maybe Twitter might be canceling us. So if you guys lose us, find us on our other stuff that we've been talking about for like a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years now.
Yep.
But send your feedback to Troy at GuyGunsPodcast.com or
Doug at GuyandGunsPodcast.com.
please tell your friends about us because we ain't paying nobody to to promote us. We don't make enough money to throw it away to Facebook to try to spread it out there to people that never watch us. So tell your friends, like-minded people about us, and people at church, people that you work with, all that stuff. We appreciate that. Like us on Facebook. I mean, for now, we're still here. They have totally wiped out Oath Keepers from Facebook and wiped out a lot of the leaders of Oath Keepers' personal accounts and taking them out. And so Twitter started the same thing today with Oath Keepers. And so they're treating us as a hate group of some sort, which has nothing to do with any kind of hate. It's upholding the Constitution of the United States and the law and order. I mean, I don't know. I guess they're just trying to silence everybody before November.
They are.
Throw that political comment in there again. So subscribe to us on YouTube as long as that lasts. And the YouTube channel is you just search for God and Guns Podcast. You'll find us over there.
Yep.
You can follow us on Twitter as long as that lasts. I got a feeling because Twitter done said a couple of things that I posted they didn't like, and so I don't know how much longer that's going to last as well. Instagram, we're there for now. I posted up some videos over on Instagram of reloading and things like that recently. MeWe is our backup, and I'm also on Parler. I've got a God and Guns Parler account. I've got my own personal Parler account. So I think Parler will be there, but it's not a platform like YouTube or it's not a platform like Facebook. So we're going to have to find others like that. I think Vimeo is probably going to be just like YouTube. If we get banned off of one, we'll probably get banned off the other one. So our website, Doug's going to have up nice and shiny for us real soon. GuyandGunsPodcast.com. All right, Doug, till the next time, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Thank you guys for joining, and guys and gals for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. And
sorry for the green screen, everybody.
Yep. It's just the way it goes. And we will talk to y'all next week, Lord willing. And YouTube don't kill us, and Facebook don't pull the plug. Doug's computer starts working again.
It's got COVID.
It's got the COVID. It got the COVID. All right.